5 countries devastated by China. The harsh truth behind the collapsing economies from Bangladesh to Pakistan. A terrifying question is now haunting all of South Asia. Has China's partnership become a signal of destruction? Pakistan is already on the verge of bankruptcy, but now even countries like Bangladesh seem to be crumbling. When a business leader claimed that 5 countries have reached the brink of economic and political collapse because of China, everyone was shocked. Is it really true that Sri Lanka, Maldives, Afghanistan, Nepal, and now Bangladesh are all sinking one by one? And at the root of it all is China's debt trap strategy. Today, we'll tell you how China's dragon diplomacy first sold dreams to these nations and then shattered them, pushing them into a pit of debt and instability. But before that, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our latest updates. So let's begin today's discussion without further delay. When a well-known serial entrepreneur named 𝐟𝐨𝐥𝐿 posted on X that even Bangladesh is sinking, it sent shockwaves everywhere. He wrote that out of South Asia's 8 nations, 5, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, Maldives, and Nepal have already collapsed economically. And now, Bangladesh is under serious threat too. He also added that even if official data doesn't reflect it yet, the internal conditions of these nations are no less than ticking time bombs. Bangladesh was once considered a strong performer. Backed by its garment sector, exports, and human resources, the country showed promising growth over the last decade. However, for 2025, its growth rate has dropped to between 3.3% and 3.9%. Inflation is at its peak, investor confidence has been shaken, and the political climate is becoming increasingly chaotic. Protests have turned violent, the government appears weak, and even the military has issued warnings of a looming crisis. This didn't happen overnight. A major reason is the massive loans taken from China and the infrastructure projects built with those loans that delivered limited real benefit. Now let's talk about Sri Lanka, the country that declared itself bankrupt in 2022, shocking the world. When Sri Lanka stopped repaying its foreign debts, its currency collapsed, inflation skyrocketed, and citizens took to the streets fighting over tea leaves and cooking gas. China lent Sri Lanka enormous sums, particularly for large infrastructure projects like the Hambantota port. But these projects brought little benefit and added massive debt burdens instead. Today, more than half of Sri Lanka's foreign debt is owed to China, and that weight is crushing the nation. Now let's come to the Maldives, a small country, but one that is also being crushed under the weight of debt. While its GDP growth is estimated at around 6.4%, over 20% of its debt is owed to China. The Maldivian economy is heavily reliant on tourism, making it extremely vulnerable to any global shock. Moreover, the Free Trade Agreement, FTA, signed with China has widened the trade deficit. Domestic industries are falling behind, and the influx of Chinese imports has suppressed the local economy. As for Pakistan, its condition is no longer a secret. Every day brings a new crisis, skyrocketing petrol prices, frequent power outages, and increasing tensions between the army and the public. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, was once seen as a beacon of hope, but today it has become a burden. While Pakistan did receive infrastructure from China, the associated debt has broken the country's backbone. Its per capita income has now fallen below that of Nepal and Bangladesh. Unemployment is rising, inflation is out of control, and international investor confidence has severely eroded. Talking about Afghanistan, its economy has long been isolated. Dependent on aid from Western countries, the situation has worsened under Taliban rule. Poverty is at its peak, foreign investment is zero, and domestic production is very limited. China is present here as well, though its involvement is still minimal. However, Beijing is slowly trying to expand its footprint, particularly for access to mineral resources. But even this could pose a major risk. Nepal, once considered a peaceful and stable country, is now grappling with a growing trade deficit with China. Nepal's economy has always been heavily dependent on imports, and now large-scale imports of Chinese goods have placed its domestic industries under pressure. Additionally, the road networks and infrastructure projects being built by China are pushing Nepal toward debt. If this trend continues, Nepal's economic sovereignty could be at risk. All of these countries share a common story. China's investments arrive first, grand announcements are made, glittering infrastructure projects begin, but when it's time to repay the loans, the harsh conditions of those debts become clear. And that's when cuts begin, economies shrink, and political stability starts to break down. This is the same pattern the world now refers to as debt trap diplomacy. China first lures these countries by offering cheap loans during times of need, but these loans come with high interest rates. And when the time for repayment arrives, these nations are compelled to give China strategic land, ports, or access to natural resources. Sri Lanka's Hambantota port is a living example of this, which China took on a 99-year lease. Now the question arises, did these countries have no other choice? Did they willingly trade their sovereignty? The answer is complex. Sometimes countries have urgent development needs, but decisions taken without a long-term strategy, especially with lenders like China, prove to be costly. For these nations, this is a time for self-reflection. India, too, has maintained relations with China, but it has exercised caution at every step. India has never altered its policies in exchange for loans. Instead, through initiatives like Make in India, Vocal for Local, and Atmanirbhar Bharat, it has worked toward reducing foreign dependency. And that's why India today stands as a stable, self-reliant, and globally respected economy. This entire episode offers a deep lesson. Any shining road or tower is beneficial only as long as it strengthens the country's people and economy. If that road comes under someone else's control, it's no longer an asset, but a chain. China's debt policy is now being questioned on global platforms as well. Institutions like the IMF and World Bank have also warned that this is not sustainable development, but a strategic trap. In such a scenario, South Asian countries must ensure that they don't lose their sovereignty in the name of partnerships and should make economic decisions with a long-term vision, not just short-term needs. Is there a way back for these 5 countries? Yes, but for that, they need transparent governance, political stability, prioritization of local industries, and an independent model free from foreign debt.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.